Good morning. Trust you're all well. I've got a bit of show and tell today. Let's just set this up. Let's go on focus. Go. Let's go. Right. So, hope you are all well. I've got a list of things to actually talk about today, which is fun. Good. Right. So, third coffee of the day is ready to go. It is currently midday here. I found that going live around now works bloody well for me. It's all about me, obviously. Sean, how the devil are you? Afternoon, morning. Where are you again, Sean? Are you US based now? Remind me. Hello, Steve. How are you? Had any takers yet for your launch? Nicoletta, good morning. Good morning. So you might be noticing this very jazzy t-shirt I'm wearing. Double limit Spain at the moment. Nice. Span. What did I see going on? Oh, there was a fucking hell, Mason Mitchell. I was talking to him yesterday, and he's into his cycling. And there was a cycling race. I wasn't there, and it got cancelled or disturbed or postponed because of a fucking demonstration. Looked pretty. I don't know where it would have been. Like what city would have been. Probably one of the big ones. But yeah, it looked a bit tasty. Looked a bit. Looks a bit different to what was experienced on Saturday in London. Funny enough. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts on that. Steve. Let me do one, mate. Yes, Jody. What's the time there? Are you worked out yet? Have you done your 5 a.m. squat session? Yeah, this t-shirt, I ordered it just after the games. It's the pukey one. Vuelta, the Spanish belter, yeah? Buenos dias, Senor Chapman. It's got pukey on the back, which is why I got it. And because Chase was modelling it as well. So yeah, all good. Thoughts on demonstration? I mean, no, I don't care about that. Yeah. And the inquiry, Steve, let us know. Let us know about your t-shirt gigs. I still need to send over to some designs, don't I? I know. Second workout. Oh, yes. I saw your first one that you sent across. That's good. Don't put yourself down, Joseph. Live your dream, yeah? Which, funny enough, is something I want to talk about today. Hoping to do a little bit of a deep dive into what would be the best way of putting it? Value, I guess. Self-value. Rogue One. I'm telling you. Rogue One. See, Sean agrees with me, Steve. Rogue One. Lock it in. Email's gone through. Cool. Nice. Excellent. Right. So, list. I posted, finally, posted this with my little addition there at the bottom. I think it's less of a continuum now, more of like a horseshoe. So I posted that. Some of you might have seen it. And then I've had quite a lot of comments from a couple of people. Well, one person in particular, pushing back on it, which is good. It's the whole point. That's what I want to hear. Because again, I'm not I don't profess to know the answer, and this is why I'm asking everyone, because I genuinely don't have an answer to this. Um, and I would like to know. What happened there? Anyway, I'm back. I haven't done a Savon, don't worry, I'm here. Yeah, I want to know opinions. I want to know. I want to know other people's opinions. I want to build my own opinion on evidence and structure and knowledge and wisdom from other people. Don't just assume that I've got it myself. Far from it. So yeah, it would appear that the comments have come from a very knowledgeable individual that left CrossFit some time ago in terms of their affiliation with CrossFit. And you can go and head to the post and have a look if you want. A bit of back and forward. But again, what I love about having your own sort of voice and channel like this is that I'm not just limited to 100 characters on a post reply. You get to articulate or try to talk about in long form what you're on about and what you're trying to achieve, which I guess is the benefit for me in being able to do this, is that I get to flesh it out and explain properly what I mean and what I don't mean, you know. But on this post, the guy that I've been talking to back and forward, totally value their opinion, totally value their input from I think he said he found CrossFit in about 2004, so very early adopter. And the underlying tone, from what I can gather, was somewhat in agreement with me. However, I think the difference being is that this person had long ago set aside any sort of outlook positively for where CrossFit HQ can go or is going, and has sort of sold themselves down a different path, which is great. But there's a conversation around butterfly kip in pull-ups and standards and what GPP is and what CrossFit Games has done, and the online programming that's out there, which is what I'll bring up again in a bit. Actually, before I forget, I'll add that to my notes. Whereas I see a lot of hope there. And one of my questions back was, because this person was talking about the overwhelming majority. I think he quoted a percentage at some point. Coaches, box owners have long forgotten this. They forget that people don't need to butterfly kip unless they're racing at the games. Like that. And again, the sentiment is sort of, I agree with it to an extent, right? And I don't have a concrete kind of formed opinion on all of this. One way or the other. I don't actually have many strong opinions, you know, thinking about it, about anything. Just sort of float around like a jellyfish, bumping around from rock to fucking turtle. But yeah, never mind. So have a look at that post when you want. But it was really interesting hearing that. And then on another comment, someone had replied and put, yes, because my question in the comments was, one of them was, and this was on my conversation with Tyler last week, was, are the fittest on earth as per the games still the fittest as per the methodology? So do the methodology and the game still stack up side by side? So the continuum, when you get down to fitness, is that peak health still? And And I think we can get around the issue, the dichotomy that I was talking about with Tyler by adding in this continuation of the continuum, sort of like turning the speaker up to 11, really. Um, Heading back towards sickness, because if you are constantly, and I say this as someone that's surrounded by sports people and married one, an elite athlete, um, they're constantly on the verge of sickness, of being ill, of injury, of fatigue, of burnout. It's not a healthy way of life. Um, but having said that, if they're at the bottom, say they're at the bottom of this red, right at like 6 p.m. on here, if they stop working out for 2 weeks, they get back to this peak health of fitness where the methodology is. So this is why this continuation, I think, is the way around the way that I'm thinking at the moment. Anyway, this might just be all ramblings of a madman that doesn't make any sense to anyone and is completely irrelevant, but it's something that I like to think about. So yeah, the comments have been really good so far, and I like having these posts now. I never thought I would. Um, Yeah, I've developed my super as a keeping a volume. Yeah, never thought exactly. The thing with the I'll come back to your question in a sec, Adam. The thing, Sean, with the butterfly, once you've learned that high skill level and you can maintain capacity across all other modalities, you can pull out butterfly for one, because you'll only ever need it fucking once at a competition, really. At our stat, I say hour, unless you're at the games where they're doing 14 events and there's multiple pull-ups and chest to bars in there. You're never going to need butterfly more than once on a weekend at a competition, really. You can pull that out the bag for a few reps once a year at a competition if you've got that skill base and GPP throughout the muscularity and the movement qualities there. I do not see, and again, this might be a 40-year-old talking that's way past it, and 25-year-olds out there will slam me for it. I do not see the value in doing butterfly when you're at the gym training. I just don't see it. Unless you really fucking need it for your competitions, whether it's online qualifier or something. For me, that isn't a demonstration of health. So totally agree. And I only do strict work. So red section, Adam, it's the continuation. So we discussed the other day, like fitness. Let's say the methodology when you obviously did you did your coaching quals many years ago. The fitness at the end of the continuum where it does finish. I shouldn't say did because it still does. That used to be where we used to test our healthiest people as per the methodology, and they would then be defined as the fittest. Now, hello, senor. Now, the progression of the games has moved people way further past what we would define as health. They're moving too quick. They're getting burnout. They're getting injuries at a higher rate. They're blah, 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 blah. We've been through it. My get around for how I can visualize this, because they go more towards sickness than health. So my way of visualizing this is they've gone through wellness. They're at peak fitness. They continue to go past longevity, and it still continues on, but it loops back towards sickness. That's this red zone that I've kind of added on there. I could be completely wrong. There might be a logical fallacy in there somewhere, but at the moment, that makes more sense to me than just cutting it off at fitness. Because as Tyler said the other day, if we're using the continuum as we used to, longevity and health would peak longevity and health would be right at the bottom of that fitness. It'd be right at the end. But we would have to put the games athletes further back towards wellness and towards sickness because of what we just talked about with, getting ill quicker, getting injuries faster, burnout, fatigue, everything like that, eating fucking sugar all the time. That's moving back to away from fitness. But I think they're still way fitter in terms of the definition of what we would now call it. So we needed to change the continuum a little bit. So I'm kind of going down back towards sickness because we can't say they're not fitter. But it's you know, um, but yeah, it's I don't know. It's a work in progress. I'm sure I'll be able to. I might get someone on. I'll tell you who I could get on here. Someone from the CrossFit Medical Society to take me through this. They'd have a good understanding. I'll see what I can do about that. You would need it. Yeah, but we can't. Let's say uh you, I know who you are, but you. Let's say we can't have a different one. We have to add on or plot them on here. Where are they going? Sean, yeah, absolutely fine. My street products are as fast as making. Yeah. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong one. 2,500 agree. I also do fucking amazing. That's decent. If you sport out of it, there's nothing better programmed correctly. The method, exactly. Yeah. So, and the point I got out the other day with Tyler that I couldn't include in the clip that I posted was, if you are at peak, if you're a fucking, say, if you're a 40-year-old that is eating meats, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar, keep that to intake the sports exercise, not body fat. If you're moving in those different planes, you're sleeping enough, you're getting vitamin D, your hydration is top notch, your stress levels are down, your resting heart rate's down, everything is, all the blood markers are there. You look incredible. Like, on paper, you are living the dream. You would be at the end of that continuum. But Hopper would still beat me at every single workout, which used to be the demonstration of that fitness on the continuum. But they've moved way past that. And I want us all on the same thing, because if we don't include ourselves on the same thing, then we're not doing the same thing. And that what they're not doing is CrossFit anymore. Or is it we're not doing CrossFit anymore? We need to be on that same continuum under this brand. But yeah, there we go. Because she is at peak health, but she can't do this when she's 50, you're assuming she gets sicker just because it's maintainable for life. Hang on. Because she is at peak health. Do you think she's at peak health? So that might be the logical fallacy. Do you think she's at peak health? But she can't do this when she's 50. You're assuming she's getting sicker just because. No, but you've got to plot yourself on that continuum at any point in your life. So right now, if I have to plot myself on that continuum, where would I go? In her chain, you think she is peak health? Okay. And what about that ideal that I just said a minute ago? Someone that can't perform like her at fitness testing or racing, but is absolutely on paper, you can't get healthier. So are health and performance still the same thing? There's the question. Is that right? Are health and performance at our metrics still the same thing? Because that's what the continuum was set up to demonstrate. Are health and performance still the same thing as per our sport? Okay. There we go. Right. So they're not the same thing. Are there components of health that she's not top at? She's probably a lot more stressed than other. Every elite athlete that I know is teetering. Yeah. So this is the thing. So our continuum was built upon and included the fitness in 100 words. The foundation of all of this is just me trying to get my head around, is everything still marrying up to when we first started? Yeah, is mental health included in that? Like, for example, look at Fraser, Matt Fraser. Do you think he is healthier now than he was when he was competing? He couldn't touch a knife. He lived a lot on his own. His stress levels were probably a lot higher now than then, sorry. Well, that's a totally different thing, isn't it? But yeah, I might explore this route. See, this is why it's so interesting to me, because there's so many different avenues to explore here to add up to that answer to that question. Now we have to define health, exactly. But we used to say fitness and health on the continuum were the same thing. But are they? Yeah, over time. So here's the again, that's a totally different avenue to look down. And again, it's a really good conversation to have, because I think everyone thinks, or most people think, that they know what stress is. But until you've been in a different position, you don't really know. I guess the best people to ask that would be like Fronin. He's a dad of 3. He was the elite athlete. He's the GOAT. He's been through it all. He's one of the only people for CrossFit that would know the answer to that. But then again, he was competing 10 years ago at the top end. So it's changed since then. And we're never going to know that answer, right? It's obviously subjective opinion, but I can tell you now, when my wife, before she was my wife, when she was my girlfriend and my fiance, as an elite sports person that was training the best part of 8 hours a day, couldn't have a second job to earn money. So she was on lottery funding for that we have in the UK, not earning much, getting up at 5:30 every morning, training very, very hard all day, 6 days a week, on constant burnout, took 3 days off competing or training and she'd get ill because her body would just go, oh, like when you go on holiday, if you've been really stressed, your body just relaxes and then you're more vulnerable to illness, and you go on planes and whatnot. But then now she's a mum, she's pregnant with our 3rd. And yeah, we have a lot of stress, but I think that you're supposed to, as you get older, be able to deal with stress a bit better, because you learn your tolerance level goes up. You learn that it's not ongoing. You learn that things are passing. You get coping mechanisms, and you mature, I guess, and you just learn to let things go. So being stressed as a parent of 3, yes, it has its stressors, but unless, you know, emergencies and rare occurrences aside, you're in it for the long run as a parent, aren't you? So you're thinking, right, this is a 60-year project. As an athlete, an elite athlete, any moment, any competition, any training cycle could potentially be the end of that career, and it's a job. So it'd be the equivalent of comparison, I guess, would be in your career, because that's the thing, they treat their sport as their job, their career. It's more matter of fact. So yeah, yeah, it's a nice thought, because, and one of the things I was going to talk about today was the fixation on suffering. So, and I did a bit of a dive into this, just a little bit of research on this, but it's something that we've been talking about in the general space for a long time. And I've heard Jordan Peterson talk about it. I've heard Joe Rogan's guests talking about it. I've heard psychologists talking about it. I've read books on this, specifically Camus, and Schopenhauer. And it's this dwelling, it's this fixation on suffering. And there's so much of the human psyche that comes out of it. You've got obviously the you know, you get the weird fucking idiots that like to be whipped and tied up and all that shit. They fixate on that kind of physical suffering. You get people going to the gym and making themselves really fucking uncomfortable and getting this huge endorphin release. That's us. So that's suffering. We fixate on that physical suffering because we know at the other end of it is that. And I think we've got this feedback loop where we biologically, we understand that hardship equals reward. You have to earn that. And I can't remember who said it, but there's this reward circuit hijack. So we've got this reward circuit neurologically where we work hard, we get rewarded. We work hard, we get rewarded. That's in here. That's what that endorphin release is when we finish a fucking hard workout, when we've done a good day's work, or where our child achieves something. We know all the hard work we've put in. There's that reward circuit. And there's this discussion around the hijack of that reward circuit. So at some point, that loop has been hijacked by negative thoughts and suffering and pessimism. And we reward ourselves via that pessimism. And that loop has been taken over and hijacked. And whether you look at it from a biological standpoint, a philosophical standpoint, a theological standpoint, whatever it might be, there's all these different phrases and terminologies and ways of looking at this. There's rumination, there's stress chemistry, there's reward circuit hijack, there's Schopenhauer's pessimism, there's existentialism. There's all these ways of looking at this thing and having different visuals and thoughts on it. But ultimately, is it just the exaggeration of a positive cycle that we must have in our lives in some respect? I think it is. And the way that a lot of people tend to live life these days, and I can't help but think, I sound like an 80 million year old. I can't help but think that social media has given people this platform where pity is rewarded, self-reflection is rewarded. People are praised for being honest about how they feel, and which is, I get it, but again, it's that hijack. And going down that route, it ends up going further to the left, to the left, to the left. It sounds like Beyonce, but it keeps going to the left. And you end up with the most reward is for the people that are the most pessimistic, and they're tied up in these negative feelings because they get rewarded for it. And then that cycle starts to begin. And then they go, oh, if I'm feeling down or if I'm pessimistic and I talk about it and people say, oh, you okay? They get a little bit of a bump, a little bit of reward. People like, click and follow and that. And then you end up, it becomes your actual personality. Your entire being becomes all about, you ruminate on that. And the reward circuit, self-pity becomes a validation circuit. You're getting validated for comfort seeking via others. And it's not really a healthy place to be because it doesn't actually do anything. It's not constructive. There's a certain romanticism about it. And so I'm always aware of that, right? I'm always aware that, and fucking, I know we talk about Goggins, and I do like Goggins to some respect. I've listened to both of his books many times. There's a lot to take away from it, which I really like, and I'll focus on that. Those bits is that once you've seen through that language of pessimism and fixation and wanting people to feel sorry for you to get that feeling of feel good, once you've seen through that, you can't unsee it. Now, and then once you've seen through that, it's like you've been looking in a mirror, right? You've been looking in a mirror your whole life, and then someone flicks a switch and it's a fucking window, and you see right through that shit. And then you see this big wide world. It's a totally different fucking way of being through language. It's the way that you talk to people. And especially in British culture, people say, hello, how are you? All right. Or weather. It's like in straight through negative. And that takes a lot of changing round. You've got to talk more positively to yourself and to others. And people find it very strange in today's world if you talk positively and you big up the day and you say, yeah, and you're forthright and you talk about action, people take a step back. They don't quite know how to deal with it, which is very odd. But yeah, it all starts with talking differently. And you once you've seen it, every time you walk around and talk to people, every time you walk in a room, every time you go to the petrol station or gas station and you say hello to someone, or you're in a shop, or you're in fucking the gym, or whatever it is, and then people start talking and you hear the way they talk and the language they use, you're like, you're one of them. And it's like a virus. It's like a mind virus. And it's nuts. And you kind of just distance yourself from those people in your head because you can't be dealing with it. Anyway, my point was, yeah. But do you know the good thing about that, Steve? If you show strength in Wodify, when you show strength and you genuinely believe it, you don't need praise. You're not reliant on confirmation from others, which is the beauty of it. Is once you've stepped through that looking glass, you're like, genuinely, it doesn't affect me. If you want to support and you want to be on side, awesome, that's great. But it's not a requirement to me being strong. Do you know what I mean? Because it has to come from you, doesn't it? And this is this is my point that I was going to come on to was, I won't go into details, but I've got a friend that's in a bit of a sticking point at the moment with life, and they're a bit fed up with where they're at in work and bit, questioning things. And I've been asking questions about what they want to do and what they want to achieve and what's the perfect life? What is the ideal job? What's your ideal working hours? What's your ideal like time with your kid or kids, a partner? Like what does all of that add up to in your picture? And this person doesn't know. Like, well, okay, cool. So you know what you don't want to do. In order to move away from what you don't want to do, you've got to know what you do want to do. Um, and that's goal setting, I guess. But with career and work, you've obviously got to have a career. You've got to work. 99% of people have to do that. I would argue everyone. But you've got to start small. You've got to have small steps, but you've got to have that end goal that you want to move towards. And to do that, you've got to know how you want to do it and how you want to earn money and how you want to live your life. And then you've got to figure out, how do I make that happen? And that might be a 5-year plan. But I'll tell you now, those 5 years will go like that. And you would have completely turned your life around and you will be living in a space where you enjoy every single day. There will be downtimes. There will be times that you don't enjoy. There will be hardship. Life is hard. That's what you just have to accept. But you get to choose your hard. You get to choose your difficult situations if you have a plan and you know what you're going after. And it kills me, absolutely kills me that there's people in my life that I know that slave away at work, don't enjoy what they're doing. And yet it's it seems like this huge fucking mountain that they can't take on. But it just needs thought. It just needs time. It needs half an hour a day sat down instead of sat down watching telly or sat down in the afternoon watching fucking a podcast. If it means that much to you, that every day you wake up and you do not want to go to work, or you want to, I don't know, like I did, you want to homeschool your kids and you can't see how it's going to happen. You got to have a plan. You got to figure out a way to make it work, because it's going to be another 5 years down the road and you're going to realize that you should have done it earlier. How many times do we hear people go, I wish I found CrossFit sooner? It's been here for 20 odd fucking years. It's been around. You just didn't find a way. You didn't know about it. But I cannot imagine waking up in the morning or going to bed at night anymore and not wanting to get up to go to work, or not wanting to go up and be around the house or whatever. It doesn't ever cross my mind. And it was tough. It was really hard. And it was a long project that started for me in 2012. And here I am in 2025, 13 years later. I don't earn a hell of a lot. I earn enough. I earn enough for what life I want for my family and my kids, and for me to wake up. I've woken up this morning. I've had a coffee with my kids. I've been homeschooling all morning. And now I do this, and then I'll have lunch, and then I'll go to the gym and coach a bit. And then I'll come home and I'll do some online programming, which is another thing I want to talk about. But that's exactly the life I want to live. I don't have as many holidays as a lot of you guys. I don't travel as much. I can't afford it. But for me, I'm living my dream. But that's my dream. Everyone has to do that. Everyone has to realize it will be hard work. It won't be instant. It will take years to get there, but you've got to do it for yourself. No one's going to come around. You will not win the lottery. You will not marry a rich woman or a rich man that's just going to buy you out of work. No one's going to raise your kids for you properly anyway, like you can. And if it's something that you want to do, like for me, move into the fitness industry full time. That was the first one. Marry and have kids. That was the second one. Homeschool. I got convinced of that over the last couple of years by numerous reasons. You got to make it work for you. It's got to be you. No one's coming to do it for you. And there will be bumps in the road. It won't be easy, but it can happen, and it does. But what's the alternative? Spend every fucking day miserable doing stuff that you hate doing. Fuck that. That isn't life. That's just ticking boxes. I actually left my dream job in tech for like 18 months when came to full-time, literally transformed my whole life mindset. Now I balance it. Yeah, exactly. And Sean, great point. You can walk away once you've done that. And guess what? You can always go back if you find that it's shit. It's like the homeschooling shit. We've said from day one, if it doesn't work, if my kids are socially fucking weird after a year, if they aren't mixing with kids, if we feel like we're falling behind in education, if it's not working for us, guess what? We can put them back into school. It's not the end of the world. You got to try this shit. Yeah, Sean. Yeah. Funny enough, years ago, I don't know if Sean, you may or may not have listened to Talksport. There's a radio station in the UK called Talksport. Guess what they do? There's an ex-footballer I used to play for Nottingham Forest called Stan Collymore. He was on there. This is fucking years ago now. Must be at least a decade ago. And he posed this question: would you rather be a billionaire and never ever happy, or dirt poor, but every single day you are at peak happiness, up here, pure happiness? And the amount of people that chose to be billionaire, not getting the point. His dichotomy here was you can have all the money in the world. These are two extremes, obviously. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're not happy, you're better off being dirt poor with no money, but intensely happy. Money does not equal happiness. It can lead to ways to gratify and to lead towards happiness. And it is obviously something we need in life. It's not a complete, it would take a complete clown to think you don't need money. That's not the point. The point is, if you can find a way to be happy without this huge fucking pressure on income, revenue, money, making the bank balance every month, if you can be happy without all that stress, living a less caring life about little shit, you can focus on the really important stuff. And guess what? The important stuff is right on your doorstep. Yeah, it can. It can prevent a lot of unhappiness. But the thing is, and I'm with you there, Steve. I'm totally with you. But just playing devil's advocate, a lot of unhappiness comes from the pursuit and chase of assets that come with money. So if you haven't fixated on the chase of that, it's like people would say, right, oh, my happiness means that I go to Thailand 3 times a year and I buy Louis Vuitton jackets and that kind of thing. And without the money, I can't buy those things. So yeah, but if you don't want those things in the first place, you don't need the money. So what my answer is find that balance for yourself about what you need in life to make you happy. I've got a mate who's in his 50s, single guy, on paper, living the dream. He's bought his house outright, doesn't have a mortgage. He gets a new car every year. He dabbles in bits and bobs. But he's not happy. He's not happy at all. He's lonely and he's constantly chasing. And I've got another mate who's early 30s, just had a kid. He's a tree surgeon. He works probably 4 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week, happily married in a small house, and absolutely loves his life. You know? Totally different. Spence Matthews put up an interesting post the other day saying his friends who call their CEO dads by their first name because they don't. Yeah, how lovely. Yeah, fuck me. Yes, I do. I can you imagine calling your dad by his first name? That is mental. What a shame that would be, you know, as a dad, your kid calling you by your first name. Speaking of names, we got to come up with our third name soon. I've got a couple of names for each sex that I like in our theme. We'll have to see how it goes. The other day I talked about kids CrossFit and a channel and that kind of thing. I had to sit down with the kids and we talked about it, and they like the idea. It'll be a little project of ours, a bit of media project. It is Jodie. It's a lovely name. Unfortunately, it's not in theme. It's not in running with our kids' names. We've got a theme going, so we want to keep to that. Vin Diesel. Vin. Yeah, so I've set up, I won't say anything yet, but we've set up a YouTube account and an Instagram account, blank at the moment. No no content yet, but I've shotgunned that. I've got an email address, Instagram and YouTube account all set up, ready to go. So it's planning phases now. But yeah, we're all on board, all four of us. That'll be an interesting one. So we're brainstorming every day for half an hour, setting that up. And there's something we can do all together. I'll be in control of it. I'll control all the media side of it. But yeah, and any money from that we make in the future will go in a pot and an account, and they can have it when they're a bit older. So there we go. But it's a bit of training. We've set up the computer now with a screen for learning. We got rid of the tablets. We haven't got tablets in the house anymore. Well, I say we haven't. I've got my iPad, but that's for work. But yeah, they haven't got iPads or screens anymore. We've got a stationary computer with certain websites they can access for homeschooling and learning. So that's their screen time. But they've both got into Dragon Ball Z recently, and they absolutely love it. So I'm giving them one episode a day that they can watch once they've done their work. But yeah, we went to I always like to sit on the fence. We went to a sports thing they do for homeschooling on the island at the main sports centre in a big hall. And there must have been 100 kids there in this sports hall, middle of the day, playing, all homeschoolers. And look, nothing the kids were doing was out of line. They're all very well mannered, which was an observation that I made. Playing nicely. But there is a certain aura that they have, homeschool kids, isn't there? It was an interesting experience. What, you don't go to a restaurant and place a tablet? Oh, right. We don't go to restaurants, to be honest. Can't afford it, Jodie. What do you mean you didn't let Miss Rachel raise a shit? Miss Rachel, should I feel like I should know that name. Is that like a YouTube account? See, I've got to actually do some research on this, because I know that kids watch loads of YouTube, and I know that there's these fucking platforms that have got millions of subscribers that just like open kids' toys and stuff. Oh, by the way, this shit is amazing, right? So if you haven't seen this or done this before, you get a pot sent, and this yellow shit's like feed, and you get 5 little caterpillars, and they're tiny. They're like about 1 centimeter long, right? 1/3 of an inch long, 10 millimeters. And they're in this pot, and you put it down and you leave it for about a week, maybe 10 days. And they grow and they grow. And these little shits, they get probably like 1.5 inches long, chubby little fucks, right? Anyway, they then crawl. They crawl to the top of this pot, and then they cocoon. and it's all view, like you can all see it, like it's all going on in front of you. And then once they've cocooned on the top of this pot, yeah, it's gross, Kenneth. Yeah, it's not nice. It looks red. It's not good. And then you put the pot in this net when they're all cocooning at the bottom, and they all start to come out like a week or 10 days later. And it's amazing. It's like £10. It's like, what would that be? About $15 for one of these through Amazon. And it comes to your thing, and the kids fucking love it every day morning. But the other night we had our first butterfly came out, like not last night, night before, when they woke up, came running in the room, butterflies up. So yeah, one of our butterflies came out, which is cool. But little things like that, they're really easy demonstrations of like biology and care and feeding and life cycle and what to do with them. It's pretty cool. The other thing I've got on my these things, right? So we'd call these sliders. I don't know what you'd want to call them. There we go, my shirt. So my wife has an online platform where she coaches and programs for synchronized swimming, which is a sport, or artistic swimming, and gymnastics, right? Because she's an elite gymnast and swimmer. She coaches swimming as well. These things, you might have these at your gym. But anyone that wants to strengthen up limbs, get hamstring flexibility or mobility, strengthen up stabilizers, groin, hamstrings, these things are a fucking easy win for anyone, right? And the grip is on the top. You put your feet on there, or hands. You can do hand work with these. And the bottom bit slides. So you've got stability on there. So you put your hand on there. They slide along. And you can put your feet on the top there and you can slide them. Yeah, they are torture devices. These are like $5 or something for a couple of these. If anyone's after a really quick way of stretching and getting your hamstring slides are fucking amazing. They do match, don't they? But yeah, there's my show and tell for the day. Butterfly garden sliders. There we go. And yeah, pretty much. They work. Right. What was the other thing? So I want to show you this pair of knee sleeves that I wore, right, at the competition last weekend. These ones. So these are IPF approved. The International Powerlifting Federation approved these. I don't know if you guys wear knee sleeves or belts or whatever you wear, in the gym, but these knee sleeves, they're stiff. They're 7mm thick. These are the shit. They are super stiff. Now, if ever you are going to compete, you need some of these. They really support. And the thing is, when you're in the sport, when you're at competition standard, you need every little win that you can get. If you want an extra 10 kilos on your squat at competition, you're going to need some of these on. When you're under that amount of stress. So point being, when you're training at the gym, you clearly don't need 7mm stiff rigor mortis knee sleeves on. The cheapest insert IPF, yeah, they make a huge difference. Yeah, you keep them for competition. Just like I never squat in lifters when I'm training or at the gym. I save them when I compete. There's different tools and accessories that you can use when you're competing, and this is the difference between training and competition. Sean, please, can you, not Sean, Mexican Godfather, can you do a powerlifting competition for me? I'd love to see that. I really think you should, because you're a strong fella. I think you should put it to the test. The other thing about kit that I was going to bring up was, I had a conversation the other day, and CrossFit knew what I was on about. my shoes, Juan. I have been searching, absolutely searching, for any proof online, right, of the line of these. They're the exotic line, right? These are Nano 2s, and these were buffalo skin. They're really worn out now, but they were really tidy. Now, the only proof that I found is this pair on eBay, the American eBay. These are the Croc ones. So they're crocodile leather. They're brand new, unused. And they are UK 9, US 10. If they were my size, I would be saving up money to buy them. They are fucking cool as fuck. Now, there was ostrich ones that were like white, that were sort of like this color. The ones at the bottom, anyway. Like I'm 10th in powerlifting. You don't want me near you. Me near it. Nah. I wear clothes as well. I very, very rarely take my t-shirt off at the gym. I get barefoot when I'm on the grass, when I'm outside with the kids on the beach. I do a lot of barefoot stuff, but gym work, nah, need that protection for the hits and the bumps and the running and all that stuff. And also, Adam, I live in a climate where you can't really go barefoot a lot. I come 10th in a powerlifting competition. You don't want me near it. I do want you near it, so I do want you near it. Do want you near it. Yeah. Good. Right. What was next on the thing? Post comments done that. We got to so training this week. I have been doing a lot of machine work. I am. So it's what today is? It's Tuesday today. So what have I been doing? So I did Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I'm day 6 of this new training system, and I fucking love it. Something I pulled together over about a week ago. And it's a hybrid between power output and machine and running intervals. And it's a 6-week cycle that I gradually increase the pace. So it's a 6-day on, 1 day off cycle, repeating for 5 weeks, and then a taper on the 6th. I'd love, do you know what? I would absolutely love that, KDL. Might end up happening. But yeah. So yesterday, it was really fucking simple, right? It's really simple shit. It was upper, power, and then intervals. And it was 2.5 on, 1 minute off, ski erg, 10 rounds. So it's 2.5 minutes of work, 1 minute of rest, 10 rounds. And on the reading with the tick overs, I did 7K. I got over 7K. It was about 600 and average of about 680, I think it was on the meters, 685. But with tick over, it went 700. Yes, Jody, do you want to see my view? Here's a sneak peek if the camera can reach. It'll reach. There you go. So that hill carries on, keeps going further. That hill just keeps going on and on and on forever. But I stare at the birds, you see. The old crows. There we go. Back to normal. There's lots of crows out there. I just like staring at crows and thinking. But yeah, where was I? Yeah, big hill. Um, yeah, that's why I look out that window a lot when I'm thinking. Crows play a big part in my life, you know. I like crows. Anyway, yeah. Today I've got deadlifts, echo bike intervals, and running, which is going to be lovely. I live right next to a farm, by the way. So that's that way, and the other way is a hill behind me is again, and there's a sheep farm and a cow farm, and a dairy farm just up the road. And there's loads of chickens everywhere. And here's why: we've got loads of wild chickens on the Isle of Man because they've got no predators. There's no foxes, there's no badgers, there's no nothing. We've got no predators out there for chickens or cats. So there's like just fucking. We've got wallabies, believe it or not. They escaped from the zoo about 5-10 years ago, and we got wild wallabies. It's mental. So this is why I want gorillas on the Isle of Man. I just think it'd be cool. But yeah, there you go. Done that. So right, listening in. This is the important one. This is the bit that me and Jon wanted to talk about, and we'll talk about on another show. Any animal sense from all the farms? Yeah. So when we open our door, so at the front here, in the mornings, it smells of sheep, and the sheep bleat every morning. They're just roaming around eating the grass. And then towards the end of the day, the sheep move fields, and we have the cows come over, so we get that cow smell. It's not strong. It's that nice smell. I absolutely love where I live. It's fucking amazing. Again, but it wasn't easy to get here. It was tough. It was really tough to get here, but we did it. That's something my wife and I are very proud about. Compared to where we used to live, anyway, fucking outskirts of London, where yeah. Yields. What was I talking about? Programming. So, actually, how I'm gonna ask Jon if I can make an announcement. Hang on. Where is he? Where's this cheeky fella? Where's that scamp? Can I tell people about? There we go. Right, I've asked him. We'll see. We've got a guest coming on probably next week on Outside the Box show. No, I want to tell you who it is, but it's up to Jon. If he doesn't reply, I won't tell you. Exciting stuff. And Jon and I are going to be working on some online programming. We've got a few visits, so Jon and I are meeting up a few times over the next sort of 6 weeks. So there'll be more to come on that. But we think that we've got a unique take on programming. We've got a lot of expertise on it, got a lot of value to add. So I think we can really fill a spot in the in our space, in our market. So keep your eyes out for that. Right, so where are we? Just over now. I don't really have anything more to add. I'm quite boring in terms of that. Oh, here's another thing I did. I emailed a few people asking if they wanted to partner with me for the show. Wouldn't it be nice, Hang on, if I go like there, wouldn't it be nice to have like sponsored by, I don't know, John's sheep farm at the bottom? Yeah. Keep plodding on, boy. Keep plodding on. I'll partner with you. Thank you, sir. Here we go. Here he is. Jon. Tell you what, Jon, you bagged this person. I want to tell people who we've got next week, who you bagged. Are you happy to tell everyone who that is? Sponsored by Visit Aberdeen. Yeah, buddy. That'd be awesome. That'd be amazing. Wouldn't that be cool? Look, if I go there, I'd be like Defy & Co. Visit Aberdeen. They've got a £2 budget for sponsorship deals. Yeah, I am fucking. Here we go. 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 Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Yawn. Come on. Tell people. I've just WhatsApped you the link. What if you've got what you've managed to do? Click the link. Click the link. Go click the link. Don't know what happened there. Just seemed to disappear. That was weird yesterday, wasn't it? When Savon disappeared as soon as Sousa came on. Very odd. Very, very odd, yeah. Yeah, Jon, I've sent you a link. Okay, just coming. I need to get rid of this. It's annoying me. It's blocking my view. I don't even know what it is. It's like some weird, like, just weird thing. Oh, I can smell toast. I hope that's toast. Isn't it when you're having a stroke, you can smell toast? Hopefully I'm not having a stroke. Something like that, isn't it? Yeah. I thought I was having a stroke earlier. So we were doing fossils earlier. We were I know Sean doesn't believe in dinosaurs, but we were looking at fossils and we were making our own out of clay, doing imprint stuff. And made an imprint, and it was this like small pack of clay. That's not shame, that smell. Here he is. Yoni boy. I'll get that side.
What's going on?
What's that t-shirt?
It's like an Italy
Italia.
top, but it's like a Stussy one.
Lovely. Very nice.
Oy. What's the crack?
What's the crack? Well, I didn't say the name, but I just sort of said that we've got a big name coming on outside the box next week. I didn't say who, and they were screaming at me to tell them. We've got a few, yeah. Who is?
I'm assuming you mean the most recent one.
Yeah. Drum roll, hound. Who have you bagged?
We have my famous Uncle Pat Vellner coming on the show.
Hell yeah. We've got Patty V coming on next week.
I don't know if it's next week, but he said
probably
he will be. He said he couldn't do this week, but he could do next week.
That'd be awesome.
We've got a few really prominent people in the space coming on. It's just trying to tie them down to the times that fit them and our schedule. And then I'm away loads over the next
hell yeah month.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty stressful. I think it's exciting, but it's pretty stressful.
What's your training look like today?
2 seconds. I might need to close. I'll pull it up. Am I still on?
Oh, good. Yeah, you're on now. Yeah.
Can you still see? Can you still see me when I close my phone to look at my program?
I can see you now. I can see you now. Yeah, that's fine. I'll be all right.
I wonder if I can. Can I? No, I can't actually look at my programming because it's on my phone. It's like a. It's like a 60-minute kind of aerobic thing. It's I'm basically tapering for an event on Saturday.
Cool.
It's not a High Rocks. It's a Hybrid Games.
And have you programmed that yourself?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, it's similar to what I would program for myself if I was doing it, but I don't like taking charge of my own training anymore. I've got enough to think about that I would end up just doing things I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Skiing every day.
Yeah, oh, I love doing this. Oh, I love doing that. I would, like, if I didn't have time, I would just do the things I enjoy rather than like focus on the things that I need to focus on.
I think people go one or two ways, don't they? They either just do stuff that they hate and then they miss the whole point of enjoying training, or they only do stuff that they really like doing and then they miss the whole point of development.
Yeah, I can see the merit in like just doing stuff that not doing stuff that you hate, but stuff that you're like weaker at. But you still need to have that like sense of enjoyment. You still need to do things that you're still good at to keep them. You need to keep yourself good at it as well. And if you don't enjoy your training, then you're not going to do it.
No, like your job.
You know? Yes, that's why I love my job. What's that? That's why I started CrossFit. I only did my favorite lift, strict barbell curl.
CJ, what's his name? What's his name?
CT Fletcher. CT Fletcher.
That's it. Yeah. What a lad he is, eh?
I still love CT Fletcher.
Someone sent me a video the other day saying, "If only we could go back to peak."
It was me.
Humanity. Was it you?
I sent that? And it was CT Fletcher. He was like shouting at his biceps, "I demand you to grow."
Yeah. What an incredible time to be alive. And that was before Elliot Hulse became weird.
that was peak Elliot Hulse. That was when I used to actually love watching him. Now he's a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
It was that was CT Fletcher, Hodge twins. Before Hodge twins were political, they were just kind of silly back then, and that kind of lot. I might actually message CT Fletcher and see if he'll come on the podcast.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he had a heart attack. I think he had a heart transplant or a triple heart bypass or something at one point because he was fucking huge. He used to have like 20. He would eat like 20 cheeseburgers a day after the gym.
Didn't he go on Rogan? I'm sure he went on Rogan, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he's not going to come on our show if he's been on Rogan.
Right. Yeah. He might. We got another one that is.
Yeah, fucking hell, I we do. Yeah, we've got Eddie Ift coming on. Who else? Paige Semenza, messaged her today. Kendall, from the documentary Surrender. You should watch that if people haven't watched Surrender. It's BPN documentary, the Go One More. It's fucking brilliant.
Go One More.
It's called Surrender. The event was called the Go One More Ultra, a backyard ultra. They do it in Texas at Nick Bear's ranch.
I suppose I should probably watch that.
So Bryony Keys that we had on Outside the Box, she has just, because they do it as a lottery. It's like you opt yourself in to do these events, and then they only choose like a certain amount of people. So it's 150 people that they select. So she got selected to do his Survive the Night one. So it's a 50-mile race throughout the night.
Okay.
So she's going over next month to do that.
That's cool.
In Texas. And that was she was on our show. She was training for the Ironman. She got told she wouldn't ever run again. And now she's doing that.
Yeah. Mad, isn't it?
Oh, there we go. Shane Roddy will sick. I've entered the lottery for that next year. I thought about it, but I'm not at that stage of running yet. Runners are gay.
Yeah.
I want to know who that is, The Mexican Godfather. I just think it's PK, but I don't think it is.
I know who it is.
Do you?
Yeah. It's a guy that has to find a way to lock his bedroom door now and again.
Right, okay. Yeah. I thought it was maybe him or the other dude.
Right. Yeah.
That plays
the
the guitar.
Other one. Oh no, he I need him to go back online, that guy, with that game that I still don't know what that game was the other day.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
it's
good.
called what is it called? No, it's not called Rust. It's Days End. It's like a zombie game. It's like a post-apocalyptic kind of like world. So it's just like three runners.
Could I do that on here? Could I play a game and people watch me play?
Yeah, that's what I was asking. You could, if you play PC games, you can. I was asking him how to stream Red Dead Redemption from my Xbox to YouTube, and he was explaining to me how to do it, because I would love to just go live on Glinton's channel and just play Red Dead. People could just watch me like Glimmy, just like dragging people behind my horse and like fucking beating people up in the pub and stuff. And then when Haley's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm outside working. What are you doing?" So I'm just playing the Xbox, talking to people online.
Yeah, really, really cool.
Yeah.
I think it'd be some value. Yeah.
What have you been chatting about?
I've got rid of my notes now. I was talking about the post that I put up about health and fitness and longevity. I talked about the self-belief and having your goal. We've got a mutual friend that we were talking to yesterday and today about all this. And they don't know where to start in building their own value and worth. Talked about that.
Yeah, but she was just diagnosed with autistic today, so
yeah, officially.
Give her some slack. She's never had autism.
Autism, orgasm. And then I was
She's
talking
never had
about
an
orgasm. Yeah, we've been talking about my soon-to-be newborn child,
Sevan Chaplin. Yeah, I'm just reading the comment. It's hard doing this on the phone because you see a comment popped up, you have to then open it and that. Yeah. I don't know how people phone in and do like a 3-hour show on the phone.
Oh no, mad, isn't it? I was talking about the A7 knee sleeves. They were good. The rigor mortis ones. I wore them the other week.
You don't use them, do you?
I wore them the other day, yeah.
Fuck.
I borrowed them the other day.
Are you like a 3XL or something?
2XL. They were fucking hard to get on. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say I couldn't get on 2XLs. I tried and I just was like, nah, I give up. I was just like, I could have got them on, but I was like, nah, if I can give up, I can't be arsed with this.
I had bruising around my quad, like that line around the top. I had it on both legs, but they're good once they're on. It's fucking getting them on's nuts.
Knee sleeves. Well, like sleeves and stuff have changed so much since the last time I competed in powerlifting, because I still have my very first set of SBD.
Oh, bloody hell. Yeah.
Like I still have my very first set. I've had them for probably about 10 years.
Yeah.
Maybe more, actually.
Well, they're pretty much not lifetime guaranteed, but you don't really wear them that often enough to have to change them all the time. That's why they're like 150 quid.
Yeah, but someone at the gym was telling me, he's like, "Oh, those will be shit in compared to like this kind of styles that are out now." And that's when he was trying to get me to try the A7s. Everyone at the gym wears A7s that I'm in.
Yeah, they're really good brand. So I want to show you something to do with I had this ready. I was going to bring it up. I completely forgot about it. We were talking about fucking Cornish pasties the other day.
Well, yeah, we were. Yeah.
And then this came up on my feed. There's this German woman. Wait.
Yeah, I go for that.
Medium or large?
The medium for now.
I've got to go large.
Okay.
Traditionally filled with beef, potatoes, onions and turnips, pasties now come in many variations. In the 17th and 18th centuries, they were a popular meal for miners and farm workers.
The crimp, the twisted edge, isn't just for decoration. It's meant to seal the pasty, and it gave workers a way to hold their food without getting their hands dirty.
I want to taste a specialty found all over Cornwall.
Hello, morning.
So basically, that I just don't like a Cornish pasty. It's just not part of my it doesn't do much for me. But the reason I like that was because I think a lot of Americans assume that Europe is just one big place, that everyone knows everyone and no one's any different from each other. And
it's weird.
A woman that lives, a German woman, has never had one or been to England and has no context on anything she's doing on that account. She's never been out of, like, she's been to France and Spain and places, but she's never been to England, so she hasn't got a clue. Like, it's so fucking different, the cultures from country to country in Europe. It's mental, and I can totally see why an American would assume that, yeah, we're not.
Culture
we're the same
from the culture from Cornwall to Newcastle is different.
Yeah.
Like in Scotland, the culture from where I am to like 100 miles down the road is quite different. The accents are totally different. You'd think people from where I'm from to where like 100 miles away, you'd think they're from a different country.
Yeah.
With how they speak.
But it's like cultural, the context, the way that we talk, senses of humor, like the way we dress, like everything's so damn different from and then you look at the map and you think how like the UK to Ukraine is the same as like California to New York.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine the difference in the amount of different cultures and countries and accents and contexts and backgrounds and fucking buildings and architecture and religions and everything between the UK and Ukraine across Europe. And yet the US is pretty much one country.
It's weird that you said that. I was watching a TikTok earlier, and it was one of my mates sent me it, and it was an American guy saying that, I'm going to give my opinion on Europe after spending 10 days there as an American. And the first thing he said was, Europe has no coffee. And he was
coffee.
He was like, Europe has no coffee. He goes, the only coffee you can buy in Europe, he goes, is espresso. He goes, you could also get like a latte or like cappuccinos and flat whites and things like that, but it's got no American style coffee. They're just their iterations of what we do in America. It's like, all right, cool. So we can get every kind of coffee. But what he meant was they don't have the fucking coffee drip that they use, and which you can't get.
Right. Yeah, they're at like really old hotels.
Severe. Why does Jon have TikTok? It's a business page. I'm big on TikTok. Massive.
Funny actually, because Sabir, a lot of your stuff that you put out on content would really suit the TikTok
It would probably
world.
go bigger on TikTok.
Yeah, I like the ironing one that you put yesterday or today.
What else?
That's me.
What else did he say? That you can't. That you have to. You can't just drive places in Europe. You have to either walk there. You could get public transport or an Uber or like whatever it is. He goes, it's set up really well that you can walk everywhere. But my biggest complaint was I couldn't just drive.
Hey?
It's like, are you fucking daft? Like, European cities are fucking amazing for the fact that you can't just fucking walk everywhere or jump on the tube or the subway or the metro and just dot about places.
Yeah.
Like, so easy.
Yeah. You don't have to drive, but you can.
Jody, it is a business page. It's my coaching page.
Yeah. I haven't had TikTok, but I get why. Like Stephen made a good argument for it. Good news, everyone, TikTok as well. By the way,
TikTok is excellent.
We've got me and Jon have got 2 separate media passes for Rogue, so we're doubling up.
Yeah, which it's funny. So it's like you're the lead on one of them, I'm the lead on another one. So basically, we just have like it's our name on both sets of passes. I did try and get Stephen Renner onto the second one, but he never opened the message. So if he's watching this, tough luck.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I'll actually see him this weekend. He's doing media at Hybrid Games.
Oh, is he? Oh, good. Have a word with
Yeah.
him. Yeah, have a word.
How much social media does one really need? Exactly.
Wax on, wax off. Mr. Miyagi.
If people think Instagram comment sections are bad, TikToks are 10 times worse.
Is there comments on TikTok? Oh, right.
The comments are the best thing about TikTok.
Oh, right. Fair enough. Yeah,
do you speak about Danny? Do you speak about Danny on this show, or is that reserved for outside the box?
That's reserved for the fun. That's reserved for the fun show.
Yeah. He was dropping hard R's all day yesterday.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
We'll save that for Thursday. If you want to find out who Danny is, tune in Outside the Box on Thursday.
Yeah, Outside the Box Thursday. We've got head to head, and we've got Danny Boy 83.
We need to find someone. We need to find someone for head to head, because the person that you think is coming on is at tier Wodipalooza.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right. I'll sort that out. I'll get on it today. Mm-hmm. I'll get sorted. Right.
Okie doke.
Okay.
Right. I'll leave you to it.
Speak to you in a bit.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thanks for coming on. Oh, he's gone. Right. So, thank you, Jon. My partner in crime, Yoni. Oh, my knee keeps clicking. I have got a very fun. Right. Do you want to hear my session? What I've got? Tell me what you think of this session today. Mexican Godfather. Tell me what you think. Today I've got hybrid posterior. So I'm starting off with 5 triples deadlift at 75%. It is more of a philosophical contemplation show, isn't it, Jodie? Then I've got some hip thrusts, weighted pull-ups. Then I've got 3 lots of 12 minutes bike erg between 220 and 240 watts with a 3-minute easy between each one. That's going to be tough, man. That's all right, though. I'll get it done. Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking this cycle I've put together. It's decent. I allowed myself about an hour and a half a day, 6 days a week. One day it's just power building. One day it's purely endurance threshold, and then 4 days. 4 days I do a hybrid sesh. So I'll start with power training, and then it will be threshold or intervals, and then a day of rest. So that's the program that I'm following, that I've put together based on my 1RMs. Glute drive, yeah, you should do that. No, I prefer the flute drive. Let's do the flute drive. Mexican Godfather. Right, I am going to call it a day. Mr. Matosian is on in an hour and a half if his internet's sorted. Oh no, he's traveling. Oh no, it's Matt today, isn't it? Susan's on in a bit. It's a phone-in show, chat show. So everyone get prepared for that. Don't be too nasty though, or you'll get blocked. Not by me. I can't even block anyone. I can't. So I'm powerless. So you could say anything that you like. Right? Let's go. Yeah, you can say anything like, I can't block you. So you can say what you want. Say what you want. Right, so thanks for joining me today. We had a lot of discussion. A lot of discussion. Go Jan. I've got to actually think about start planning, Jan. So we've got fucking High Rocks in like 5 weeks. And I've got to think about what events I want to do after that. I want to give myself the Opens, obviously February, March. Always falls around my birthday. It'd be nice to do. I'll have a newborn in January, so I don't want to do anything between then. I reckon by July next year, do that. Yeah, fuck it. Do July. Oh, you did? Good. That's sorted. You don't have to sleep on the floor with my family. Good. Right. Okay. So yeah, I need sort of an event for next July. Anyway, have an amazing time, everyone. Enjoy your life. Go and do what you got to do. Find something. That's my kids. Look. My daughter and my son. Just noticed that. I don't deserve any. I don't deserve any breaks. Horrocks and Manchester in January. Leave the baby. Yeah, fuck it. See you later, wife and kids. Have an amazing day. Do something challenging today. Take some steps towards bettering your personal life. Make a hard decision. Make one difficult decision every day. And for me, that decision is to end the show.